Texas boxing scene is here with Michael Haynes, all-around tough guy from San Antonio.
What's up? What's up?
We'll be back on June 10th in nearby Corpus Christi to take on another really exciting fighter named Travis Crawford. Michael, 135-pound fight. How you feeling? How's camp going? And how you doing about 2 weeks out?
Camp's going good. Everything's on target. 2 weeks out, I'm just keeping everything polished up and fresh. So I'm feeling good, ready for battle. I always try to go in for the win, and it's going to be a good fight.
If anything, it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be the fight of the night. Do you know much about your opponent, Travis Crawford? He's had a similar path as you. He took really tough fights really early. He doesn't have the shiniest record, but he's a good fighter. He's a really good fighter, and he's tough as can be. He reminds me a lot of you, which is why this is so intriguing. Are you familiar much with Travis Crawford?
Not as much as you are, but no, not too much, man. I know he's fighting out of Corpus. I hear he is a tough kid. I'm going to be prepared and ready for that. Just trying to make sure that everything's real tactical. Probably shouldn't throw that out there, but I know he's going to be a good boxer, so I'm preparing for that.
Yeah, he's been matched tough like yourself. I want to get into that in just a moment or so, but take me back. You turned pro back in 2018. Did you have much of an amateur career? Did you have an amateur career at all? Or how did you kind of get started in boxing? Take me back all the way to the beginning.
I have a little bit of an amateur career, not much, never really consistent. The pro opportunity to debut in 18 pretty much kind of just popped up while I was working out at a gym. And I was like, you know what, I've been training all this time, might as well squeeze something out of it. So I took the fight. And it was a good fight. We went all 4 rounds, and it was just a good start. And kind of decided after that point to take it a little bit more seriously.
Okay, that explains the layoff. So you're training at local gyms and stuff. You just kind of fall in love with the sport instantly. Like, all right, this is my thing. I want to keep doing this.
Well, I fought a lot in school and whatnot, and I just decided to keep fighting and see how far I can go with it. I like to train. I like the lifestyle. Honestly, for me, it's really just an opportunity to kind of live the way that I want to live, and that kind of keeps me in it.
It's been a joy. It's been a pleasure getting to watch your fights. I've seen most of your fights since 2021. So talk me through it. 2018, you're in a fight. Goes the distance, and you do pretty well. You come up short, but you do pretty well in the fight, right? What's kind of your thoughts? Now you're out of the ring for almost 3 years, 2.5 years, right?
Yeah.
What's going on? The pandemic hits in that time, so everything shut down. But what's going on in that time? You just mastering your craft, or what are you doing during that layoff?
I'm training. Obviously, I probably could have been taking everything a little bit more seriously, but in between that time, just going through life, you know what it is, like trying to live and make a living and still continuing to do the things that you want to do. Come in conflict from time to time, but it's not over. You know what I mean? I'm still here, still have another opportunity. Looking to, right a lot of wrongs, discipline myself further, but I still love the sport. I still have an opportunity to kind of get in here and prove that I'm not, that the previous record doesn't really show who I really am as a fighter. And that's, so that's what I want to do at this point.
Then after that layoff, you come back. It's like I said, it's almost 3 years later. This is the pandemic. Now, this is the first kind of local card back in San Antonio that I can think of, right? In April of 21.
There's fights all the time here, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying after the pandemic, it was like kind of the first big card back in April of 21. When you beat, I'm sorry, I'm losing my brain here. When you beat Jacob Kilroy, am I saying that right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Talk about that fight and talk about that experience, because that was a fun fight. You got the win. There was a big crowd at that fight. Is at the event center. Talking about that experience and getting the win.
So, and even from the fight in 2018, the coach that I was working with, we kind of went separate ways, and just found another coach who was trying to get into building a better team or a different team. And so I found a new coach at this point. We've been training for a little bit, and he had given me this opportunity for Jacob. So I took that fight with a different coach. I think things were going real well, and we were working hard, so we got the win, and it kind of showed me that, hey, man, if you cut all your bullshit out and take it real serious and put the work in, you can come up with it. And then from that point, I mean, that answers your question. I'll let you go ahead.
Talking about the fight, because it was a fun fight. Right? It was a really entertaining, fun fight. Talk about the experience and talk about what you had to do to get what you had to do to get the win that fight.
Yeah, so I knew he was making his debut, and I was told that he was just a boxer. And at this point, I've been training MMA and things like that. I've been in some real tough sparring matches. I actually feel that I'm at a higher level than what I've shown, especially if I'm, really in it. And from that point, I knew I could get him excited in the first round, just have him swing and keep swinging until he's kind of like all the adrenaline at first would get to him. And then kind of just smooth things up and start throwing shots. And I think that shows in the middle of the round. I kind of just calmed down a little bit and kept throwing, like picking my shots. I knew at that point he was pretty gassed. And so that was the game plan. Like get him gassed, like get him swinging crazy real quick, and then calm down and stay busy and just look for the win.
It was an impressive win. Like there are fights all this time in San Antonio. I always say San Antonio is the best fight city in the country. There's no other in America. There's no other city for boxing like San Antonio. Like you said, there's a card there today. There was a card there 2 weeks ago. There's another card I know in August. Right, there's fight cards in San Antonio all the time. I don't know of any other city like that. And that win kind of put you on the map because it wasn't just a win. It was like a ticket selling kind of fight. Like people are going to want to see this guy fight again because he's in exciting fights. And that kind of, at least from where I'm sitting, kind of put you on the map there, right? And then they used you. Yeah, they used you as a B-side. You fought top prospects like Jason Lamone, Javi Fernandez, right? You fought these really, really good fighters. Talk about that experience where you're going in, and they're picking you because you're a tough guy, right? But they're expecting you to lose to their undefeated. Because since then, and I'll put this out there, the combined record of your opponents is 17-0, right? So there's no easy fights. They look at you, okay, you're going to give my guy work, but ultimately my guy's going to win. I know that's not what you think, right? But like, what's that like, knowing that they want to put you in with these top undefeated prospects because they know that you're going to test their guy?
So and I can kind of see the game getting played as you're saying it. Like initially, me getting in, I don't really have someone walking me through this. I'm just kind of going through this myself, taking opportunities as I go along. So I saw that in the very last fight I did, this most recent fight. My coach I'll put it out there, he set me up saying that the kid that I was going to fight, because this coach that I had been working with since 2019 or the fight after 2018, realized that I'm not really doing my homework. I'm just working out, sparring, living my life ready to fight, So this last fight, he told me the kid only had 4 fights total. And I signed the contract just going off of his word, and I get to the weigh-in, and he's 8-0 with 6 knockouts. And me being who I am, I already made the weight. I signed the contract. I'm gonna go in there and see what happens, like knowing that I'm not gonna back out. And so it kind of went that direction. And since then, I obviously changed teams at that point again. But yeah, so what we're looking to do is stop that. I know you talked to my manager, and right now we're looking for fights that that are at my level. But I mean, obviously, still we want to grow this thing and see what can come of it. So we're looking to kind of stop that attitude.
And
But
I want to touch on it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I'm just saying. I mean, for me, it is what it is. I mean, like I really don't give a shit. You know what I mean? The
I,
opportunity comes, and I still want to fight. So
I want to touch on that. When they told you he was 4-0, this is the Tigre Castaneda fight. Is that the fight that you're
that's
talking
right.
about?
Yeah, the kid. I think he was from Mexico or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he lives and trains in the Valley now. This was back in May. This was at the Hangar 9 base in San Antonio. Tigre Castaneda is now a WBO youth champ. I think he's ranked in their top 15. This is just a year later after you fought him. I mean, this kid is a legit world title prospect, and they told you he was 4. I mean, the sport. You got into the sport. I know you got into the sport a little bit later. Did you have any idea it was this corrupt and this bogus when you got into it?
I know the potential is there, obviously. To me, it could have been worse. I don't know much about the I don't know much about that kid, but to me, even knowing that, it makes me feel like, man, and it went the way it did, like, because I didn't get slept. I got dropped, and then they stopped it. And yeah, he was messing me up, but I would, I'd take that fight again later on. But I mean, no, I had no idea. I mean, I know what pretty much the world is capable of, like in any game you're playing, you know what I mean? So it's not surprising to me at all. The only thing is that I just knew I was like, man, you need to find somebody that you can trust. You know what I mean? And trust just means a lot. So building the team around you to where even with your manager, because I don't want to be thinking about that stuff. I'm training, going through my day life. Like, hey, y'all talk business. Let me know about an opportunity. Is kind of how I feel. So
So
it's just finding that. You know what I mean? Finding the right team.
So I want to talk to you about that, right? Because I got to talk to your manager a little bit. He's a good guy. He obviously has your best interest in mind. How did you catch up with him, and how is that relationship going?
So we've known each other outside of boxing for a while. Just friendship wise, he's become a good friend, and we know each other from business as well. So I knew that he was the right person to kind of be in the mix, create new deals as other ones come along. Just be creative and let's have fun with it.
And certainly, watching you is fun, and we all have fun watching it. And I want to touch on that. I was sitting
Thank
ringside at your
you.
fight when you fought. Welcome. When you fought Javi Fernandez, and Javi Fernandez is 12-0 prospect who was just a big aspirations for. And his trainer just looks at me and is like, man, this guy is tough. Like he thought you were just gonna walk through him, and you're sitting there and you're banging with him for like 3-4 rounds, however long it went. Um, where does that toughness come from? Like, what makes you want to keep on going, right? Because you're fighting this prospect who, they have world title aspirations for, and he's tough as nails. He hits like a ton. What makes you want to keep pushing through? What makes you want to keep going and then come back and do it again a couple months later?
Well, I mean, I don't think that this is going to be a different fight. Um, I'd like to fight Javi again in the future too, but really, man, it just boils down to that I know I can be better. I know that I'm better than taking the loss. I believe that just if I just keep doing what I'm doing and polish up my game, just keep learning, I'll start winning, and that's what I really think. So that's why I'm continuing. You know.
I certainly see the ability. The toughness is there. You have skills. You're a good fighter. You've just been, like you said, you've just been matched really tough. Like I said, your last four
Hmm.
opponents, whatever it was, 3 opponents, had a combined record of 17-0. I mean, for someone that didn't have a deep amateur pedigree, I mean, that's not putting you in a great spot to win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you obviously are growing. You're improving. You've been out of the ring for about a year now, right? It's about a year from that last fight. I'm guessing you've been staying sharp, staying focused. How much have you improved in those 12 months, and what can we expect to see from you on June 10th?
You can expect a real exciting fight, man. I believe I've improved a lot with discipline. You know, it's day-to-day discipline in your life that really gives you, and you doing your own thing yourself. I'm sure you can relate. You know, it's the grind. It's the how much are you gonna fuck off that day or not. And aside from that, it's the mindset and the little details that you do. I've been working on that this past year. I believe that's really going to show. I'm coming really prepared and kind of looking at this more of a sport instead of a brawl. So I think you can expect more boxing and kind of take it from there. Yeah.
So June 10th, we're going to see the new and improved Michael Haynes, new management, sharp, focused, more discipline, more skills. Like I said, June 10th, Rain Promotions, Corpus Christi, fighting Travis Crawford. Predictions, thoughts, comments on that fight? What can we expect?
I'm not going to make any predictions. I'm going in to work hard. I always do, but we're going to make this a tactical game.
Looking forward to seeing it, Michael. Any sponsors, any social media? Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at MRH Funding. That's my Instagram right now. There's no sponsors. I'd like to make a shout out to Supreme Smoke. They hook me up a lot. They're badass over here on Babcock and Heavener. So hit them up. They'll take care of you. Other than that, man, I'm real excited. Gary, I appreciate your time, but I can't wait to get in the ring and put on a good show.
Looking forward to it, Michael. Well, I'll be there ringside. Can't wait to see you in action. June 10th in Corpus Christi, Robstown Fairgrounds in Robstown, Texas. God bless, champ. Looking forward to it. Yep.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good one.